Hey, how's it going? Good evening. It's about 7 o'clock. I'm in the Queen Sirikit Convention Center. I'm going to cut through Benjikiti Park and enter the Green Mile, which takes you just that, 1 mile or kilometer over towards Lumpini Park tonight. I'm not sure what's going on in here today. I just got off the MRT at Queen Sirikit. You'll have everything from travel shows to the big APEC exposition. I know the vice president came into town last year for the event. Yes, it's a huge state-of-the-art facility. And there's the King of Thailand, Rama 10. Looks like they're having some kind of big pharma convention. I'm sorry, I was trying to get out here a little earlier, but life got in the way. This is the big man-made lake. On the right is Ratchatapisek. Straight ahead is Terminal 21 and Sukhumvit. We're going to head off to the left, take the Skywalk Bridge through Benjikiti, and over where Benjikiti meets the end of Soi 4 is the beginning of the Green Mile. We're going to end up way off in the distance. If you see that tall building with a crane on top, that's the new, is it One Bank or Bank One building? It's going to be the highest structure in Thailand. It's on Wireless Road, the same road as the U.S. Embassy. That is the beginning of Lumpini Park. Nice little structure shooting out into the water. I think I see an H on the ground. It makes sense. This is a helicopter pad. I know during the APEC convention, world leaders from all over were landing at Benjikiti Park. They used the parking lot as a helicopter airport. And this is the premium time. Get out here and do a little jogging around the park. Beautiful views of the skyline across the way. Those buildings on the end of Soi 20. I'm coming into the park from the convention center side. You can easily walk less than 10 minutes from Terminal 21 or the Asok BTS station, Sukhumvit MRT station, and enter Benjikiti on the other side. Not to mention at the end of Soi 10 and Soi 4 off of Sukhumvit. And again, I kind of missed that golden hour to show you the park, but I'll put a link in the description. This is the Skywalk. It goes from here at the convention center all the way to the other side where the Green Mile starts. I'll put a link down and show you that video. I was out here at probably between 6 and 6:30 is the perfect time to catch the sun going down and the glowing park. It's pretty nice. It's a nice little path on this Skywalk. There's a little bit better shot of where we're heading. The new, again, my memory's not that great, the One Bank structure. Lumpini is just on the other side, a little bit to the right. And there's the Med Park Hospital off in the distance. I go over to Bumrungrad in the Nana area, but this Med Park has a very good reputation. You can hear a lot of wildlife. And that's looking off towards Prompong. There's a few mosquitoes tonight. I don't remember that in my past walks. You can pick up some cheap bug repellent at any 7-Eleven. Worst case scenario, if your lady has some kind of perfume or cologne, that'll keep them away. And I can't really zoom in on this low light, but those are the old tobacco drying sheds. They're now repurposed. I see hoops, volleyball. I think there's a gym. This is more towards the end of Soi 4. If you remember back in the day, you could not get into the park. It was all this government tobacco. It's open to the public today. So far, I've lucked out on the rain. It's been a relatively dry beginning to the rainy season. It does rain 3 or 4 times a week, but I can't remember any large storms. I've had 0 flooding, which I get a little flooding down there by the condo at the end of Soi 26, but not in 2024. And I'm up on the Skywalk, but there are some very cool little footbridges down through the water feature, but I would bring that bug spray. Entering the Green Mile at the end of Benjikiti and the end of Soi 4, it's not quite straightforward coming off of Soi 4. I am no expert. I know how to enter the Green Mile down on Ratchatapisek Road. It's kind of right behind the little dog park on the corner there. But once you take this Skywalk, I'm going to try to figure it out, but I think you need to go from the bottom of Soi 4, which is right there where you see that taxi, you need to make your way up here to the skywalk and then enter, if memory serves me. Oh, I was wrong. So if you come off of Soi 4 and just make an immediate right, there's this little set of stairs right here, and it just comes on up to the Green Mile. Now I entered off the skywalk just here to the left, but right here is the mile. It's nothing fancy, it's just a path that's going to guide you between the two parks, elevated above a little neighborhood. But yeah, it's a nice workout to walk through both parks. This is interesting. It says the skywalk is open 5 to 9. I believe the park closes at 10, but they're probably trying to hustle you off the skywalk. There are guards, whatever you want to call them, park rangers everywhere. So don't bring your dog on the skywalk. I believe dogs on leashes are in the dog park only. And even in the dog park, well, I just said it, you need to keep the dog on a leash. I don't know what the hours are, if there are hours. I see gates. So let's assume this skywalk also closes at 9 p.m., but I'm not 100% sure. There's no sign. And I just asked the park ranger. He said the same hours for the Green Mile. So 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. There are plenty of stairs on this Green Mile. I guess theoretically you could head down that in a wheelchair, but it's very steep. And it almost seems like it was an afterthought. I've seen a lot of skateboarders on it. But I'm just throwing it out there if you have issues with stairs. And like I said, it's just a simple little walkway heading through a neighborhood. And you know, I've never really noticed this set of stairs. So I'm going to go down and at least take a peek. There's a klong right to the left of me, so a little bit of a water taxi smell. But I really enjoy these just small neighborhoods right in the middle of the city. And some entrepreneurs set up a little pit stop, get a little food, drink. The Kimono Cafe. And some pretty tight roads to get a medium-sized van down. That's cool. It looks like a small mosque. There are a lot of Muslim people in Bangkok, even Thais. There's a big Muslim community down in the south, the closer you get to Malaysia. And if I'm correct, I'm 99% sure I am, that is the Catholic Church at the end of Room Rudi. And straight ahead, the pointy building is right on the other side of the Plonchit BTS on Sukhumvit. There aren't a ton of different stairs that I've noticed to get up to the Green Mile. Once you're on it, you're kind of on it, but I'll keep my eyes peeled. This little right turn here will take you over to Soi Run Rudi and the Plonchit BTS. And just as I said that, I noticed a set of stairs going down to that little side street. And this is about the end of it, another set of stairs to go up and over the bridge over Wireless Road. Here we go, looking down Wireless, also known as Wataya Road. You'll find the U.S. Embassy. Short walk, 5 minutes down on the left. The Vietnamese Embassy is directly across the street. There's a bunch of office buildings that house smaller embassies. I know this one building, there must be 10 embassies and consulates in there, from New Zealand to I'm not sure who else. This is looking up the other direction of Wireless. I'm calling it the one bank, so I'll put up a flash screen if I'm misidentifying that. Right off to the left, when it's completed, that's supposed to be the largest or tallest building in Bangkok with rooftop bars and the works. It's a 5-building structure, but it is right across the street from Lumpini, just off to the right. One thing, when you finish the mile, I'm gonna pan slow here. You need to ease off to the left here on that set of stairs and walk up just a 2-minute walk. In other words, it does not exactly connect into Lumpini Park. Just walk up a short distance and on the right you will see the entrance. And if you walked in the direction of the US Embassy in maybe 10 minutes, you'll be up in the kind of the Central World Plon Chit area. In Sukhumvit, you can catch the BTS. If you wanted to start the walk on the Lumpini side, take the MRT to Siloam, and that will be directly on the other side of the park from where I'm standing. And there's a Volvo dealership right at the base of the mile. It's just a very short walk. Once again, the bottom of the stairs, maybe 2 minutes up to the right to get into Lumpini. If you accidentally went straight, you would be walking on the side of the park. There's just no entrance for about 2 blocks. So this is the best way. Go straight ahead on wireless. Yeah, and it's starting to bother me if that's the new Bank One structure or One Bangkok or Bangkok One, something. It's going to be an important 5-story structure. You can see it's already partially open, but the main tower, you can't see it in the dark, but there's a crane on top and it's just going up and up. And if you could see the bridge coming over wireless, that is where we came from the Green Mile. Let me pan over here slowly. And this is the side entrance into Lumpini Park. Now this says Lumpini is open 4:30 in the morning until 10 p.m. But unlike Benjikiti Park, there is no dog park over here. Certified guide dogs only. And if you're coming from the United States where it seems every toilet is locked up, or maybe you'll be lucky to get a hubcap with a key attached, there are clean toilets free everywhere in Bangkok. Straight ahead is a nice clean restroom. I've walked through Lumpini at night. It is not as lit up as, say, the Skywalk over at Benjikiti. So I'm going to cruise straight through over to the Siloam train area, and I'm heading for food. It's whatever it is, going on 8 p.m. I haven't ate today. I've did a couple of detailed videos. The best time to come to Lumpini, I'll put those down in the description, one of Benjikiti Park and one, I think I might have 2 here in Lumpini. The best time to come to check out the monitor lizards is early in the morning, say 6, 7 a.m. They seem to be out in full force. I must have saw 50 of them on that one early morning trip. I came another time at 5, 6 p.m. and I think I saw 2. You might be able to see some monitor lizards over in Benjikiti, but this Lumpini is where it's at. And of course, plenty of jogging trails and man-made water features. It's a beautiful park. Bangkok, they do a good job of setting green belts aside in the middle of the city. I'm just taking my time filming and walking down the bottom of the steps to see what's out there. It's 8 p.m. I don't remember. I think I took off at 7 p.m. So call it an hour from walking through Benjikiti, the Green Mile, and then walking all the way through Lumpini. Maybe 2 hours if you want to go in a circle around each park. And there's also plenty of free workout stations at all these parks in Bangkok. And of course, the park is very safe. Once again, there are park rangers everywhere on bicycles. No drones, so they're enforcing the rules. If you're walking through, drinking a beer, you might have a conversation, but don't be afraid as a single, female, anything, to come cruising through this park, even at 10 o'clock at night. And this is new. Since the last time I was here, I don't know if they rent these. They're calling them balance bikes. I don't want to walk through the grass here, but it's kind of an interesting course. Maybe good for the core. That's cool. And then off in the distance is a basketball game. Any of these parks are going to have pickup games, but if you want to get a little exercise, there are also plenty of leagues, different bars around town, and you don't have to be a drinker. They just seem to be the ones that organize these basketball and volleyball kind of tournaments. And then, surprise, if you'd like, they'll end up at the pub for a nightcap. I like this balance bike area. Maybe you just bring a regular bike on here. I don't know what I was thinking. If it was some kind of special exercise bike. I think it's just a little trail, but it does have a lot of little hills. So again, pretty good workout. And I don't know if you can tell, it's made out of some kind of squishy material. It's definitely not asphalt. Brings up an interesting point. I'm not sure if they rent bicycles. I'm guessing they do somewhere in the park. I know they rent paddle boards or paddle boats in one of the water features, so maybe you can rent a bicycle there. I'll have to look into that. And like any major park in the world, it's full of cats. I don't know if people drop their cats off at the park and next thing you know, you have 200 cats running around, but they probably help keep down on the pests. The park is also full of artwork donated from all over the world. You'll see some sculpture from whatever, the people of Switzerland. I think this is the site of the gazebo where they'll do music in the park. I'm not positive. I want to say on Sunday afternoons when they're doing it. I've never seen it. I was just kind of running through the park one time and it was happening. That was a Sunday afternoon. And that's one of the large water features across the way. I see a little lightning off in the distance. Maybe I'm pushing my luck. And as we get to the end of the park, you can see the BTS train pulling into the Saladang BTS station in probably 3 more minutes. Right below where it's at right now is the Siloam MRT. Maybe 4 stations, I'm just guessing, from Sukhumvit and the Terminal 21 area. That's probably the easiest way to get into the park. But with that being said, if you're staying anywhere near, say, the Siam Paragon Mall, jump on the BTS, get off at Saladang, and take the connection in between Saladang to Siloam MRT. It's not that close, but it is covered, and it'll guide you straight into the park. Here it is, the Siloam MRT, just a 20 or 30 second walk to the gates of Lumpini Park. So thank you so much following along this walk from Benjakitti up the Green Mile over to Lumpini Park. Come check out these parks. Bangkok is a great city. We'll see you later. You have a great evening.